I'll point it to me so you guys can have privacy, and hello on Zoom. Hi, I'm Nader Kane. I'm running for county executive in Howard County. I was born in Columbia sometime in the 70s and came from a set of grandparents who moved to Howard County in the late 60s, just outside of the first 100 families in Columbia, and a father who worked for Jim Rouse and did a lot of the really awesome early design work for the neighborhoods and villages. He also was responsible for those really uncomfortable chairs in the Columbia Mall in the 80s, and I apologize on his behalf. So I've never been an active member of any political party. My first participation in protest and activism was in '86 with my mom and my grandma marching for women's lives in DC. And with that, I participated in '96 in my first election and voted in the primary as I could, and always did my best to be able to participate, but I really saw impact as direct action and communication and activism and on the ground, because getting people in the street is difficult, but it's a hell of a lot easier, and you can have more sort of direct positive effect on people's lives than trying to play this game that involves getting onto the inside with a certain club that's paid for and effectively puppets for, right? So when I saw the way that the primary in Howard County for county executive was playing out, I wasn't a fan and haven't been a fan of the fellow who currently has that job. He's a nice guy, but the MO is to take public resources and give them to companies under the guise of a public-private partnership or this other public service. Or, hey, instead of the county having a food bank available to anybody who needs it, we're gonna put a nonprofit in charge who then requires anybody to provide proof of income in advance just to be able to access the food pantry. Like, I don't believe there's such a thing as bad words but bad intentions, but like, that's fucked up, right? That's not how we take care of each other. So, closed primary. 3 of the 4 candidates participate in this awesome thing called a CEF, Citizen Electoral Fund or whatnot. Strict rules about who you can take money from, how much, and then there's a match to what everybody earns. But one person didn't. And they said, oh, well, I already have money from a previous campaign. I'm just gonna keep doing that and not play along with everybody else on good faith. They raised 1.1 to 1.3 million. And with 50-something% of the turnout of their party, got the nomination. Compared to 2024 participation, they only pulled about 11% of potential voters in Howard County. And that's being treated as an inevitable. And when I realized there's 89% of folks who just 2 years ago came out and voted for things I agree with, things I don't, and whatnot, but none of their voice supports the person who got this party's nomination, there's our opportunity. And there's our window to fill in the gap, because Howard County is a wealthy place, right? It had been the 3rd highest median income county in the country, and it's now down to 8, which is a good thing. But for the amount of money that the county totes and the reputation it's relied on for all these years as being an awesome place to go, raise your kids, work, and whatnot, it doesn't really ever give the people who make that investment and believe in that story much back. So That's why I decided to say, let me look into how I can get in the way. But get in the way, not for me, not for anything that I want. I have no way to know if I'm the best person for this job. But how I feel about things like schools, development, like the weird intersection between Columbia and not Columbia in Howard County, and the conflict that's been there for 50 plus years, right? It's that despite the median income being close to $150,000, there's no acknowledgement of the working poor and folks who can't work for whatever reason they can't work. And there aren't services in Howard County to take care of those folks. But we just opened up a police station in the mall, in a storefront. And we can put cops in every school. And instead of going from a population of kids who have had incident reports and suspensions and all of that, reflecting the demographics of the county, economically, socially, culturally, racially, whatever. Now we have way less suspensions, but in 2025, only 2 kids who got arrested in the schools weren't people of color. And 95% of those who did were. That's not a win. That isn't kids being more safe. That isn't, yay, reduce suspensions. It's BS. And the amount of money that gets spent in that county on over-policing, on corporate projects that are, in development deals with non-local businesses, I think we can do better. So that's what I'm doing, and I love your support. Thank you.